Hello guys, it is Seminolestrings here, and today I am going to be going over a new video on mesh theory. I've been watching a couple of the live streams lately that Michigan String Ups, High Strong, The Stringer, T-Size Strings, and then they could have gave them the idea Southern Dot Strings, and you can find all those guys on Instagram. So it kind of inspired me because I took a step away from YouTube for a very long time to kind of go back and hit up on it because a lot of you guys don't follow me on Instagram, or you do, and you just don't check it that much, or you just want to hear me talk about something instead of just making a little picture about something. So here is a piece of Simple Mesh with a header card that is not attached because I did not want to take the time. You can get these on Vistaprint on folded business cards, and it's a very good idea. I thought of this when I looked on the website. I was like, wow, that would work. And then this is Seminole, it's really cool actually. So I just did this piece up not too long ago, and it is a piece of 15 millimeter Simple Mesh. It's kind of like String King though. It is 17.5 millimeter, and it is a wax-based mesh. So a lot of people prefer a performance mesh, and some people perform wax. And believe it or not, some people who have not really touched up on the subject, or they have and they still like the feel, like hard mesh. This is a wax mesh base. I prefer wax, probably because I make it, so I have like the whole feel and everything for it. But there's a ton of wax meshes out there, and they're all different. So wax mesh, if you are going to try to make your own for fun or a business, there are two different types, as if people only think there is a wax mesh. There's an infused piece, which is sort of like this, where the wax is actually infused. Another example with somebody you probably have tried before is thrown of string. A person who doesn't infuse their mesh would be East Coast mesh or East Coast dyes. Their mesh is more, if you touch it, well, EC and black's infused, but regular East Coast mesh, which some people like better, is not infused. So East Coast mesh is a really sticky, tacky piece where you feel like when you're stringing it, it's all the wax is you can just feel all the wax on the mesh. On the other hand, mine was tacky for a little bit, but mine and Throne, our wax is actually inside the fibers. There's benefits to each. For one's infused, some people say it wears off quickly. I don't think it wears off as quickly because I feel like, here's the thing, the mesh itself, there's still wax in the mesh. So as maybe it loses its grip, the mesh still performs like a wax mesh, and it is really similar to a hard mesh that is waterproof. That's why a lot of people like Throne. They still have that traditional feel when their wax mesh loses its grip. Grip can be defined by when you go and you rub in the pocket after it's strung, and the wax you feel to it, that is adding hold to the mesh. East Coast mesh has a lot of that because it is sticky. I'm not a big fan of East Coast mesh. I know a lot of other people aren't, but some people are obsessed with it. It is very, very sticky, and it doesn't lose its grip. Some people say it wears off quickly. It actually doesn't wear off that quickly, but after a while, since it's not infused, the wax is actually just gone, and it still is a little bit water resistant because no matter what, when you are creating a wax mesh, the wax actually does go into the mesh no matter what you do, a little bit at least. So there's other characteristics. Some people do not like flaking. Some people don't realize they like flaking, but they really do. It's added wax to the mesh, which can be beneficial, or it can create too much whip, or you just might not even like the feel of it and say, oh, I'm not going to use this because I'm stringing it up and I don't like the feel of the mesh, even though they haven't performed with the mesh. So if you've ever tried mesh before, I got a review in. I don't know where the mesh is right now, but I tried something called Gladiator Lacrosse, and it was Gladiator mesh. And when I got it, I gave him some tips after, and I just told him I'm not going to post anything because it wasn't that good at the time. It might be good now, but the wax you can see on this piece, you can see the individual little fibers on the piece of mesh. It looks that from a distance you might not even know it's a wax mesh. This adds a lot of hold because this is 17.5 Magnum mesh ultralight from Stringer Shack. I prefer this. I tried this. They sent me a couple tests when I ordered a batch of 15 millimeter, and I just fell in love. I felt this. I was like, wow, this is really soft, and I wanted it to be softer because my mesh was too hard at the time. So I waxed it, and my friend tried it out, and I looked at a stick. I threw with it and everything, and I just like the whole feel. It almost felt like a traditional lacrosse stick because I did feel the ball come out. So that is a benefit to the Magnum base. Throne uses Gimalax, and East Coast uses 15 millimeter East Coast. They do not use Magnum, so this is a little bit different than that. This stretches out farther, as you can see. So technically, it's not 20 millimeter. Some people say, oh, it's just 20 millimeter because it's bigger than 15 millimeter. 15 and 20 and 6 diamond are not the only dimensions in lacrosse. If you follow a performance mesh group called String King Lacrosse and you know about them, they make a performance mesh that is still waterproof, but it doesn't have wax on it. They use a special coating that still waterproofs the mesh. I think when they make the mesh, because they actually make it themselves instead of me buying from Stringer Shack and throwing in ECDD, buying from Gimalax and Stringer Shack, they actually make it, and they make it waterproof by when they make the mesh itself. So wax mesh is used by most box players, a lot of field players, and a ton of kids. Reasons for kids is either they're bandwagoners, they are blindsided by the lacrosse world, or they actually know what they're talking about and they prefer the mesh. For box lacrosse players, most of them use it because maybe they use String King in their field sticks or hard mesh or something else, or maybe even wax mesh still. But in box, the added wax that you get on it gives you a little bit more hold. And in box lacrosse, if you ever watched / played box lacrosse, it benefits and gives you more and more hold without adding as much whip for that. I have tried performance mesh before. I tried outer mesh. I wasn't a fan because I've been using wax for a long time now because I've been creating it, but it didn't give me as much hold as it did for I didn't get as much whip or hold for like how I strung it, so I just stuck to the basics and used my traditional wax. But a lot of people do like that because they don't like as much whip or hold, and then they can still create a lot of hold without adding as much whip. I just said, you know what, screw it, I'll just put wax mesh back on it. So there's benefits in using wax, performance, and hard mesh. Hard mesh, it's traditional, and the broken and hard mesh, some people say, are the best mesh out there. Not too many people are jumping on that anymore. That used to be a year plus ago. A lot of people now are using String King, like it's High Strung Lacrosse, Michigan, and the Stringer. It's all their favorites. That's what I know. I'm not sure about anybody else. I didn't get that, but they do like it because you don't get that tacky feel when you're stringing it, and it still is waterproof, and it gives you that performance that definitely helps your game out. So I'm going to be posting YouTube videos a lot now. If you guys want me to touch on more on the mesh, I will be touching more on the mesh a little bit more, because I hopefully will be invited to a live stream soon. I don't know if I will be, because I don't know too many people in the lacrosse world, because I've been taking, I don't know, a little bit of break. I've only been posting a little bit on Instagram. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, like, and please subscribe if you have not already, so you will not miss anything. Because I will be posting a lot in the next few months, hopefully. I'll be touching a little bit about stringing lacrosse heads and waxing mesh. I probably will be doing a few videos tonight, so you'll see me wearing this shirt. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.